everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another film review. Today's a different kind of film review because we're going to be talking about this film. Obviously you guys already know the story behind the Boston bombings and stuff back in April 2013, April the 15th, 2013. So you probably already know the story about it. Quickly run through the actors in this film. We've got Mark Wahlberg, J.K. Simmons, John Goodman and Kevin Bacon. All of them tremendous in this film. I'll quickly go through how the film progresses because I'm pretty sure it's accurate with what happened in real life. So I'll run through all of that and then we'll talk about the more sad point of the review, what actually happened and stuff. So let's get on with the film. Just quickly want to point out I am in the kitchen, my nephew's in the bath, and we're trying to do this in my bedroom, and all you can bloody hear is friggin' him splashing around with Power Rangers and shit, so yeah, that's why we're in the kitchen. I'm not sure if I do a spoiler alert here. I guess spoiler alert because of the film, but I mean, would it be a true story and stuff, you kind of already know, but right, the film gets quite into it quite fast. Start off at a crime scene, John Goodman's there and Mark Wahlberg's there. And then it gets straight into the marathon. Now, they do a really good job at making you feel like you're there at the marathon because the music's starting to slowly build and stuff. And like in the back of my mind, like I was like, I know that some bomb's gonna go off, but I just didn't know when. So I was still very, oh, what the hell's gonna go? You know, thingy. It was bizarre. But Mark Wahlberg's at the finish line, which is where one of the bombs went off. The other bomb went off 12 seconds later, and I think it was just slightly further back. Yeah, so the first initial blast is right where Mark Wahlberg is. He's unharmed, but obviously the people around, it's people losing limbs. There's a small child, I think he was only 7 years old. He's dead on the side of the road. There's a little boy gets separated from his dad. His dad gets his leg battered up. There's a couple that the lady, she gets both legs blown off, and the guy gets one leg. So that sucks. And then as soon as this all happens, you know, the Americans, when it comes to terrorism and that, the FBI comes straight in, set up like a thingy. They start checking all the cameras and stuff. Now the two terrorists, an older brother and a younger brother, I won't even try to pronounce their names because I was really bad at it when I was writing down what I should, what I should say and the stuff I should point out. But there's an older brother and a younger brother. They live at the older brother's house with his wife and daughter. I think his wife's just an American that's converted to Islam. The older brother and the younger brother. The younger brother sounds like he's got an American accent, like a strong one. So I assume that he was maybe born there. I don't know. They get to the marathon. Obviously, bombs exploded. Then they walk off, and this is where the FBI and that come in. They ask Mark Wahlberg, "Listen, you know this city well." Because they get facial recognition on the younger brother. Which way would he, because they walk down, which way would he have gone? And Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, that's a whatever street and that street, and they find him. And throughout the film, it kept going back to a Chinese guy and an American police officer. Just kept going back to them, and I was like, what relevance have they got to the story? Basically, though, because the way they do it, they give you a nice backstory to both of these two separate characters. They both did have a huge part to play in this whole Boston bombing tragedy. The terrorists, they get out of the way, they find the Asian guy, not on purpose, by accident, and they steal his car and they take him as a hostage. That's why he's involved. And the American cop, they need a gun, he's parked up on the side. They end up killing him and taking his guns, so that's why he got involved. It really sucked, it was a horrible death. It showed you with him, he was about to, just met a girl, he was about to go on dates, and that would... So it was really sucky to watch him die. But basically, yeah, Mark Wahlberg and the FBI and all them are chasing them down. They're currently in the car with the Asian guy. The younger brother, I don't know if it was in real life or if they've just done it for the film or what, but he was a real friggin' dickhead. Like, he was only bothered about, like, he was like, oh, it's a Mercedes, can I drive it? I've never drove a Mercedes before and stuff like this. And he just wanted to get stoned and... I don't know, he just seemed really weird, and the older brother just kept bragging, because obviously it was on the radio, oh, the Boston bomb, that was me, I did that, and I was just like, do you want a high five? It was really bizarre, so I don't know if they were like that in real life. But yeah, they get to this garage. The younger brother goes into the shop. The Asian dude, he's like, right, what should I do? You can tell he's terrified. But the older brother, he's sat playing with his sat nav. The Chinese guy undoes his belt, bolts off. I was like, go on, dude, get the fuck out of there. Because again, with him, it showed you a little backstory of him meeting a girl and stuff. I didn't. Again, people would have already known what happens to him, but I didn't. I didn't look into it enough. I really didn't want him to die. But he didn't. Luckily, he got away. He got to another station, little shop, and he's like, I need your phone. He's in a panic, and they ring the police. Mark Wahlberg turns up and says, listen, the 2 terrorists have just hijacked my car. Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, thank you so much. You've done enough. Thank you. So the manhunt begins, and they get to this little street after I think it's 80 hours, or it could be like 72 hours. They get to this street, and it just all kicks off. One police car notices it, so they have a little fight off. Another police car comes. They have a little fight, or gunfight, I should say. The scene is very intense. But the terrorists, they've got like homemade bombs and stuff. I think they're homemade bombs. They're just launching them at them. J.K. Simmons' character, he's like a police captain. He turns up, and if this guy is played correctly and accurately, then in real life that guy is an absolute boss, because he just comes out and he's just shooting. He's not bothered. On his way there, he's having a faggot. He's just like, fuck these guys. Beautiful. But the older brother gets shot. He tells the younger brother to just dart and just do one. And as he's doing one, he runs over his older brother, and whilst he's already been shot, and it's just like, alright then, dickhead. So he friggin' drives off, and then the older brother's there. He's been caught. He goes to hospital, and then he passes away. He's one of the casualties. I'll get to the casualties and the injury count towards the end, because it needs a minute on its own. And then the thing is, like, I think this is the 80-hour mark. They've shut Boston down. No business is open. Nobody's allowed out on the streets. And for about a day or so, he's been hiding out in this old couple's boat. And the old man who owns the house, he notices. He rings the police. Mark Wahlberg, and that turns up. All these American like army guys and snipers and that turn up. They just basically say, "Listen, mate, we've got you. You're fucking done." Comes out. They arrest him, and he is currently in jail, waiting death sentence by the lethal injection, and that's my dog drinking, if you can hear her. So yeah, that happened. So he's still in jail now. I don't think he's been sentenced to death just yet. I think that kind of stuff takes really long. It was a really freaking awesome story. But yeah, that's how it ended. Boston come together. They actually, applauded the police, because you know how sometimes in America with the people and the police, it's sometimes a bit heated for whatever issues. But yeah, Boston really come together, and they showed the true strength in that. The injury count throughout the whole event, not just the bombing, was 280, and there was 6 deaths, 1 being the terrorists, 2 police and 3 at the bomb site, and unfortunately one of them was obviously the young boy that I mentioned at the start. But there was a couple, the ones that got their legs blown off, they come back, they redid the marathon and stuff, which was really inspiring and awesome. That's why I love Americans, that's why I love America. Like, I know other countries rally and stuff, they get together, guys. Americans really go for it though. They really fight back and just show, like, listen, you're not going to push us, you're not going to fuck us around. And like Boston, I've never been there, but it seems like a really tough city, and they just come together. It was inspiring. But yes, hope you guys enjoyed my little review. Hope you guys go and watch the film. It was amazing. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And I'm going to end with this message of Boston Strong. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.